Let's get started!
Hey guys, what are you two doing?
父のお仕事はスパ。
Falling objects?
毎日寝なかったり。
Little person, what are you talking about? A vase just dropped from the ceiling. Okay, I'm gonna start the rant now.
This plan C can't possibly fail!
Okay, here we go. MHA chapter 413. It's a non-action setup chapter, featuring Mr. Gearshift being an idiot, Handyman clowning around as usual, and Edgeworm the Undying demonstrating immortality. Also the backgrounds are back again in this chapter. Hooray.
Wonderful.
Anyways, do take note that this video will not be a full recap. We are just gonna be ranting about things that don't make sense. But before we start, let me say a little something. So back in chapter 409, I just kinda noticed something odd on these particular panels. How come Green Cat didn't appear here in Mr. Demon Lord's little quirk world anyway? Isn't it only logical to have the only other named hero whose quirk got stolen to appear here as well? So why is she somehow not here? Anyways, whatever, that's enough stuff on missing Green Cats. Now let's get to the main chapter rant. Here we go. So about chapter 413. This chapter has significantly less action than the last few chapters that went before it, and is mostly just focused on the Vestige world, specifically the OFA spirits talking and planning around on how to truly defeat Handyman. And now as for the rantable stuffs on this chapter I can talk about. Well, there's one major stupid thing that stood out on top of everything here, and that is the actual plan itself. Specifically Mr. Gearshift's extremely f***ing bullshit plan. It's just so phenomenally idiotic and nonsensical and full of questionable stuff both in universe and out, and overall it just looks more like a last minute addition to move the plot along instead of being an actual legitimate plan. Anyways, so here's the plan I'm talking about. Mr. Gearshift wants to use the OFA transfer ability to get himself forcefully shoved into Handyman, preferably in a very aggressive manner to hopefully expand Handyman's crack on his big black ball, allowing the innocent baby Handyman sealed off within to be much more vulnerable to talk no jutsu. Yeah, I know it sounds weird if explained, but hey, you guys already read the manga anyways, you get the idea.
I think you understand what I'm saying!
Shove it really hard and fast.
Anyways, so yeah, the main point is that the plan is littered with BS and a whole bunch of stupid stuff. And I'm gonna point out and rant about as many as I can find. Okay, right off the bat, first things first. How in the hell is this crack not noticed earlier in the first place? Didn't the Green Jesus literally just had a whole one-on-one 60-minute staring contest against Handyman just a while ago? Did seriously not one of these guys notice the crack on Handyman's big black ball all that time? Seriously? It's almost as if the black ball is just an entirely new plot point that didn't appear until chapter 412. That's why no one reacted to it back then. Oh wait, that's probably the reason. Yeah, it's just kinda silly how after chapter 412 there's suddenly a new Wonder Woman flashback over here and now suddenly the mental black ball's apparently been there all this time. Okay, anyways. Now here comes the next batch of questionable stuff regarding the plan. Here we go. How in the hell did Mr. Gearshift even came up with this plan anyway? Like, what made him think that forcefully shoving in a quirk could destroy said shoved quirk at the same time open up someone's mental crack and allow talk no jutsu to pass through? Just where the hell did he even get this logic? All in all, it just sounds so outlandish and unusual. It's almost as if Mr. Gearshift is just forced by the plot to speak out this plan just so the story can swing ever closer to the supposedly ideal talk no jutsu ending. Yeah. But perhaps what's even more bizarre than the overall plan itself has got to be the two main points Mr. Gearshift said as to really convince everyone on why passing on his quirk instead of anyone else's is a very good idea. Yeah, right, call bullshit on the both of these. Allow me to start ranting on the right one first. Okay, so how the f does passing on Gearshift remove the current recoil effects anyways? Aren't said negative effects of Gearshift tied to the cells of the user and not on the quirk itself, and therefore the Green Jesus should still be tired and still can't breathe after passing it? What the hell is this? And now as for the bullshit on the left side of the stupid panel. Okay, straight up, what the f is this shit as well? Not only Mr. Gearshift here seemed to have somehow forgotten that Handaman has infinite stamina and regeneration and the recoil would literally just be nothing to him, but also how in the ever-loving does transferring Gearshift also transfer the recoil effects as well? Seriously, since when can passing quirks transfer current drawbacks? Hell, not even Mr. Demon Lord knows about this crap. You know what, I swear Gearshift's just gotta be the most lol random and inconsistent OFA quirk at this point. It just won't stop adding new wacky rules to itself as the plot demands. First it used to be just a last resort single use overpowered quirk, and then it just suddenly gained the ability to be used multiple times, and now apparently passing it to someone else also transfers the recoil. What's next? Gearshift can now also revolt against other quirks? Anyways, whatever, now let's go back to ranting about the weird plan. Okay, so now that I think of it, how in the hell is Gearshift even gonna be passed on to Handaman anyways? I mean, the guy's literally as fast as an OFA boosted Gearshift, while the Green Jesus right now is not only severely slowed down because of the lack of Gearshift, but he's also under the effects of its recoil, which means he's straight up drastically slower than Handaman in every way. So what happens now? And also, doesn't OFA's transferability require both the giver and the receiver to be willing to give and receive respectively, plus the DNA thing? But apparently it can now somehow be given away forcibly in such a way that expands mental cracks. Yeah, whatever, anything is pretty much possible in this final battle anyways. If the plot wills it, it will just happen no matter what. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stupid things I could find on the extremely weird plot reliant talk no jutsu plan. But before we end, one last thing. I just gotta say that Handaman over here just casually floating at a very polite distance so he's not eavesdropping in on the Vestiges' conversations is just really f***ing silly. The guy just didn't want to interrupt anything. Hell, he even literally waited until the Green Jesus could get up before he attacked. And also, by the way, in said attack Handaman's arm just somehow got cut off even though he has danger sense on top of technically being twice as fast as his enemy. Okay, now that I said everything I need to say, rant over. Okay, I'm done.
素晴らしい心のお医者さんです。
Little person, Pluto is called a dwarf planet because it's small, and not because it's a planet full of dwarfs.
ターゲットと信頼関係をつ
No, little person, space dwarfs aren't real. Aquatic dwarfs are real, but space dwarfs are not.
But clever, comrade. I have been there. You should have seen them. All of them. Look here.
What the hell, Pluto space dwarfs are real?
Yup.
Well, that's something. Okay, I'm ending this video. Hey Deadline, how in the hell did you get to Pluto anyways?
Trust him.
So you got isekai to Pluto? Are there any space waifus there?
A lot.